Black economic empowerment is a discriminatory system designed to uplift poorer blacks against so-called wealthier whites, supposedly. But what if I told you that South Africa's most famous policy for empowering black people has, in reality, contributed to making white South Africans richer than ever before, but not for the reasons that you might think? For nearly 3 decades, the ANC has justified black economic empowerment as a moral crusade to undo the supposed effects of the injustices of the past. But beneath the slogans lies one of the great ironies in contemporary South Africa. BE has ended up entrenching the very inequality it is represented as fighting in the most unexpected way imaginable. The interesting part is that despite BE and employment equity and other affirmative action laws, white South Africans at the end of apartheid in 1994 were roughly 9 times more wealthy than their black counterparts. Today, that number has more than doubled. Now, white South Africans are 20 times more wealthy than black South Africans. But why is this the case? If you watch this video until the end and see what is actually happening in South Africa, you'll see how interesting this is, that despite all the racial legislation and human rights abuses committed by the ANC, white people come out more on top than they ever did during apartheid, especially from an economic standpoint. The theory behind BEE is that it will uplift black people while bringing white people down to their level. But as I will proceed to show in today's video, the hard reality is something completely and utterly different from what is presented as the policy's aim and purpose. Not only has it failed to upload any black South Africans except for a very small elite, it has in the most surprising way actually made white South Africans, the very people it discriminates against, much richer than they were before it. Let's get into the explanation. When the ANC took over this country in 1994, white South Africans had long been on average much wealthier than black South Africans. Even long before apartheid started, white South Africans were richer than black South Africans. According to the estimates, at the time of this transition, the median per capita wealth for whites was approximately 9 times that of blacks, which is actually on par with exactly the same ratio as in the United States of America today. Today in the United States of America, white people are roughly 9 times richer than black people. A country where segregation, or apartheid if you want to call it that, had by then been abolished for more than 3 decades. Yet, now an interesting dynamic unfolded here that was not the case with the US. Blacks now gained complete political and institutional power over a system in which whites had greater economic power. Combined with the ANC's commitment to Marxist economic theory, the net result was that this wealth gap was seen as the result of systematic oppression and racism. And in typical Marxist fashion, the state was seen as the apparatus to correct these supposed injustices. The political result of this was first affirmative action, which was implemented in 1998, but the law at the time focused on only hiring practices, meaning that black people were to be preferred over white people when it came to new appointments. The focus was therefore initially on labor market outcomes rather than ownership or wealth distribution. And this is important to understand for our international audience in particular. When broad-based black economic empowerment was first implemented in 2003, this was something radically different from what is known as affirmative action in the United States and what had already been enforced in South Africa for 5 years at the time when black economic empowerment was expanded to the focus from hiring practices into ownership and management and control and procurement and enterprise development. The government in effect started regulating who not only employees should be, but also who business partners should be, who shareholders should be, how much of your business you have to give away to black shareholders, and even who you are allowed to do business with. Yet, as we all know, like affirmative action, BEE did not benefit the black population. In the US, despite maintaining affirmative action legislation throughout, the wealth gap between whites and blacks increased slightly between 1992 and 2022, with whites now holding proportionally more wealth than they did in 1992. But what happened in South Africa will shock you. A 2023 study by Professor Grieve Chelwa from the African Institute in the UAE, Masheka Maboshe from the University of Zambia in Lusaka, and Derek Hamilton from the Institute of Race, Power and Political Economy in New York found, and this is where it gets really interesting, that white South Africans now hold almost 20 times more wealth than their black counterparts, up from 9 times as much during apartheid to 20 times today. Remember, at the end of apartheid, it was only 9 times. This means that while the disparity grew slightly in America, it doubled, more than doubled in South Africa. But what happened and why did this happen? Well, in the first place, black people in this country have been impoverished by BEE, making it extremely difficult for entrepreneurs to employ people, thereby taking potential jobs away from black people. Secondly, corruption in the implementation of the policy has led to the actual beneficiaries being limited to a select elite few. But much more than the detrimental effect of BEE on black people and the economy and on the poor black population of this country has been the increase in the wealth of the white South African. Yes, that's right. Since Pan-Africanist ANC has taken over the country, white South Africans have actually been getting much wealthier.
So this is this phenomenon that people sort of they were having trouble explaining this. Once these laws were implemented, something strange happened, which was that white people in South Africa got richer. And the question, so on average, and the question is, how did this happen?
Where people got richer?
Yeah, on average. And there's an important lesson to that, because in the previous system, white people in South Africa were dependent on the state, on the government. The government was caring for them and they were working for the government and so forth. And they were sort of forced out of this. And to survive, you had basically one option left. You had to start your own company. And so people were sort of pushed into entrepreneurship.
So this is the irony. Behind BEE, indirectly, it has benefited white people and caused them to become much wealthier. Whereas in the past, where white people could count on easily getting jobs in either the public or the private sectors, post-apartheid South African whites have been left with a choice of either becoming more creative and more innovative or perishing. And the net effect is that white South Africans have simply economically outcompeted all other groups and became far more resilient to oppressive laws such as BEE. In 1994, just under 60% of white people were employed through unskilled or semi-skilled positions. This figure has dropped to under 30% after 30 years of ANC rule. The vast majority, in fact almost 2/3 of white South Africans, are now engaged in highly skilled enterprises. In fact, white South Africans are one of the most highly qualified and most educated population groups on the entire planet today. Far more than we were ever at the height of apartheid even. And on top of all of this, the rate of self-employment among white South Africans is now one of the highest in the world as well. And the percentage of whites now running their own non-VAT registered small businesses has almost doubled between 2005 and 2023. On top of this, when even only taking into account early stage entrepreneurial activity, the percentage of whites engaged in this is estimated to have already proportionally overtaken all other racial groups in this country. Think for a moment how massive this is. White South Africans make up less than 1/10 of the population, but now make up more than half of South Africa's entrepreneurs. What this means in essence is that under normal circumstances, very few people are willing to engage in entrepreneurial activity. There's one reason for this: risk. Most people in comfy jobs are too afraid of risk to become self-employed or start their own business in order to make significantly more money, of course, more money than their salaries in any case, because they fear the inevitable risk of failing and losing everything when they become entrepreneurs. In South Africa, this picture is very much different. As white people are forced out of the job market through radical employment equity practices and forced out of corporate managerial class through black economic empowerment, they are left with little to no choice but going their own way and becoming an entrepreneur. And many are making a great success out of it. This is why white South Africans are now 20 times richer than black South Africans, compared to only 9 times richer during apartheid. All of this confirms what we here at the Willem Petsche Group had pointed out in a recent video. White South Africans continue to thrive even decades after the implementation of BEE, and white unemployment in South Africa is still lower than unemployment in many European countries. This is not because of any system that benefits white people. No, it's because of a system that has detrimental human rights abuses against white people, which forces them into uncomfortable positions where they must either succeed much more than they normally would or die. Check out our full report on this by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. And remember or consider supporting our work by becoming a paid member of the Willem Petsche Group. Goodbye and God bless.